Welcome back to Shorts Behind the Sports. We are here with Kourtzidis, who played college football at Florida State University. Chris, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. My name is Kourtzidis. I'm a current communications major here at Eastern. I'm a senior. I'm from Orange County, California, and like you said, I played football at Florida State before I came here.
Great, thank you so much. So, going into your background with football, how long did you play for?
So I started when I was around 5, basically as early as I could, playing flag football, that type of thing, and then played all the way through until I left Florida State.
Awesome. And what was your main position?
I mostly played tight end. That's what I played in college. I played a little defense as well, but tight end was really the focus.
Awesome. And then did you play any other sports in your youth?
I played basketball. Basketball was kind of like my first love. Wish I was a little bit better at it, but yeah, didn't work out like that.
Great. And so what kind of made you pursue football rather than basketball?
Well, I guess I kind of hinted at it.
Yeah.
I was a little bit better at football than I was at basketball, maybe significantly.
Mm-hmm.
So that was part of the decision, but I enjoyed football as well. So.
Gotcha. So, going into your college years, what made you decide to attend FSU?
So, FSU was the second school to reach out to me with a scholarship offer, and that was obviously a very exciting time. I went on an unofficial visit there to a camp, had a lot of fun, had good rapport with the coaches, especially the tight ends coach at the time. His name was James Coley. And then, in particular, we had the #1 recruiting class in the country the year before I got there, and then my class was #2 in the country. So I just kind of liked what they were building, had a lot of fun on both of my visits, and those are kind of the main factors.
Awesome. And if you don't mind me asking, what was the other school that gave you an offer?
First one was the University of Washington.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow, very cool.
Yeah.
And so you started at FSU, right?
Yes.
Gotcha, okay. And so just take us through the process of getting recruited and in high school and ending up at FSU.
So it kind of all started the summer after my junior year. That was when I started getting a lot of attention. My head coach at my high school would kind of call me into the office, say, I have such and such coach on the phone from whatever school, and he wants to talk to you. So I kind of knew it was real when I was on the phone with Nick Saban, and he was like, "We'd like to offer you a scholarship to the University of Alabama." I was like, "Oh wow, this is really happening." So yeah, it was then kind of deciding like what was a good fit, taking visits, and just kind of feeling it out from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's definitely a really exciting moment, and that a lot of people probably dream of, and it's just crazy. But and in terms of your high school, was this like a common thing, like for athletes, like going collegiate, and like what was kind of like that demeanor of your high school with that?
So I went to a private high school in Southern California that was big on athletics. It was in a league with Mater Dei, which is like one of the top football programs in the country right now. We had the runner-up Gatorade Player of the Year for women's volleyball. The year before I got there, we had a bunch of football players go to different programs around the country. So it was definitely a focus there. Yeah, for sure.
Wow. All right. And I guess more toward your college experience, take us through a typical day in the life being a player at FSU.
So I guess it kind of depends on the time of year, but it's a very busy schedule.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the main thing. So you'd lift. Every position group would have a different time window that they were supposed to lift. So you'd lift, you'd have your classes, obviously, then you'd have about an hour and a half of meetings, then about 2.5 hours of practice. So between lifting, meetings, and practice, it was like 5.5, 6 hours, and then class. So it was a grind, but
sounds like it. Yeah. Definitely had to have a lot of time management skills.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow, it's crazy, that kind of schedule. But I guess going off of that, how was your week kind of laid out, like with practices and everything else?
Yeah, so we at FSU kind of had like a more traditional schedule. A lot of places would give their players Mondays off. We didn't have that. So we'd have games on Saturdays, and then Sundays we'd have what we called stretch and stride, which was just no coaches. You're just like out on the field kind of doing like calisthenics and like working out the lactic acid or whatever. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday would be padded practice. Thursday would be helmets only. Fridays would be walkthrough. You'd travel to wherever the game was, and then do it again on Saturday.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a really busy week.
Yeah.
And then game days on Saturdays, how were those? Like, what was the atmosphere kind of like?
So they're amazing.
Yeah.
FSU is like kind of known for its atmosphere a little bit. It's,
Mm-hmm.
an 85,000 person stadium.
Wow.
So it's a lot of fun. They've got a lot of tradition. They've got, the Seminole who rides out on horseback before the games and throws the spear into the ground. And it was really exciting. It was a lot of fun.
I'm
for
sure.
Yeah.
That sounds like an awesome atmosphere,
Yeah.
definitely. And that's great about the the school community too. Probably has like that added effect on like being an athlete and just being in that environment.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
It's crazy. And kind of segueing into the next thing, how did you end up at Eastern from FSU?
So my sister actually graduated from Eastern. I have a lot of family out here in Connecticut, so I moved out here kind of around when COVID happened. And then I was looking to finish my education. So I went to Manchester Community College, had a professor who kind of got me into communications, and then just applied to different places. And when I visited Eastern, I fell in love right away. The campus is really beautiful. So it was kind of an easy choice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And just a quick question, how long were you at FSU before Eastern?
I was at FSU a little bit over a year,
Okay.
roughly. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. And I guess just kind of wrapping up with this, how did your college experience at FSU impact your passion and your path kind of career-wise, like at Eastern and with ETV, any impact that had?
For sure. So number one, obviously sports is a passion of mine. So it's, kind of an easy transition. I wanted to be involved with the game. I don't know if coaching is necessarily for me, so this is kind of like the other option.
Mm-hmm.
I love being in a team environment. I love the pace of like the live broadcasts and stuff. It doesn't give you the same like competitive vibe, but it's, it's still pretty action packed. And I love the storytelling. Like, I know we talked about kind of the community at FSU and like how much people gravitate to the athletics, and I want to provide that for people here at Eastern as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And ETV, like you said, is definitely a great way to do that and still be in the game while you're not on the field. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today, Chris, and sharing your experience.
Anytime.
Best of luck with all of your endeavors, and we will see you guys next time on Shorts Behind the Sports.